My mom hated me and loved my twin sister because she was thin and I was fat. Go to your room. I'm gonna lock you up. Your sister's boyfriend's coming over for the weekend, and we can't let him see you. Yes, he might think that if we're related, I'll become as big as you someday. No, honey. You will always be slim and beautiful. It'll help you get successfully married and rich. And you losers sit there and don't make a sound. Ugly fat people like you never succeed in life. But Mom, I don't even have water here. And food? You wanted to say food, didn't you? Look at her. Shame on you. We're doing you a favor by locking you in here. Maybe you'll lose some weight in these 2 days. For as long as I can remember, my mother and sister have humiliated me. And only Dad stood up for me. But 3 years ago, he suddenly died. I quickly started gaining weight because of the stress. And since then, my mother and sister started bullying me more and more. I only felt safe in one place. So I decided to go there no matter what. Hi, Daddy. I'm sorry I don't have fresh flowers today, but I drew your favorite lilies of the valley. I hope you like it. I'll sit with you if you don't mind. I have nowhere else to go.
What are you doing here so late, my child?
I came to visit my dad.
It looks like you miss him a lot, since you're not afraid to come to the cemetery at night. Nice drawing. Did you do it?
Mrs. Solomon looked very mysterious. After listening to my story, she suddenly invited me to go to her place. And surprisingly, I agreed. Back then, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. My new friend lived in a small, simple-looking house. But it looked like a museum on the inside. Wow, you have so many pictures here. Was your late husband an artist? Mrs. Solomon looked at me strangely but said nothing. And a few minutes later, she started to scream.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Do you want to rob me?
I was scared and wanted to run away. But the door was locked from the inside, and the key was nowhere to be found. After that, Mrs. Solomon silently went to bed, and I spent the whole night sitting on the floor trembling with fear. In the morning, she showed me something shocking.
These are the contracts of the nurses that the agency sent me. None of them stayed longer than 3 days. I suffer from dementia, and it can be pretty hard to deal with me sometimes. However, I feel like we met for a reason, and I see that you have a great future ahead. If you stay, I'll teach you everything I know.
It must have been foolish of me to believe a sick woman, but I did, and I stayed with her. Mrs. Solomon taught fine arts at the university all of her life, and she saw beauty in everything. even in me. I felt like I had been reborn thanks to her. Was it difficult for me? Certainly. Dementia is a horrible disease. But every day next to Mrs. Solomon was worth it. 10 years after her passing, I dedicated an exhibition of my work to her. I became a world-famous artist. And despite my mother's words that fat people can't achieve anything in life, I was on the list of the richest people in the country last year. As for my sister, she never got married. She lives with our mother in the same old house. And they still believe that external beauty is the most important thing in life. Remember, beautiful people are not always good, but good people are always beautiful.
Oh my God, ma'am! Who did this to you?
The nurse examined the patient who was in a serious condition.
You have 4 broken ribs. Oh, I just tripped over something, and then I fell.
The woman's words seemed strange to Erica.
Damn, but these are handprints.
Hey, leave my wife alone. She needs help, not talk.
Sir, I need to know what happened.
The man snatched the notes from the nurse's hands.
She has already told you. She fell. Who are you anyway? I haven't seen you here before. Call Dr. Johnson, now.
Erica went out to the hall and met the doctor right away.
Sir, there's something you need to know before you go in there.
Do I? What exactly?
I'm sure it was her husband who inflicted all the injuries on this woman. You have to call the police and save her.
But the doctor laughed in Erica's face. Calm down. You've got a wild imagination. The patient's husband is my best friend, and I will not let you slander him.
It's not a lie, sir. There are handprints.
Shut up and get busy, sweetie. You can't mess with other people's families if you want to continue working here. The doctor smiled and entered the room. But Erica wasn't going to give up so quickly. She logged into the hospital's electronic system and entered the patient's name.
Oh no, I wish I was wrong.
She was a regular patient in the hospital with severe injuries. And she was always treated by Dr. Johnson. The next day, Erica decided to talk to the patient. But Dr. Johnson controlled her every move. Fortunately, during an ultrasound of her internal organs, he was urgently called to another patient.
I know the truth about your husband, Annie. It's okay. We love each other. Don't be afraid. I'll help you.
But suddenly, Erica froze in shock.
Annie, you're pregnant. Did you know that? Oh no, please don't tell my husband.
The woman could no longer lie.
I will never get the chance to get away from him if he finds out about the baby. I won't tell anyone, but you have to be brave. Call the police. Do it for your baby. But I can't. My husband took my phone away. Do not worry. I'll call the police. But you have to confirm my words when they arrive.
Erica called the police at the hospital reception. She was telling them everything that happened when suddenly she heard footsteps behind her. I told you to stay out of their family.
Dr. Johnson, this is a crime.
You are fired. Get out. The police arrived a few minutes later. But Dr. Johnson had already prepared to meet them. Greetings, officers. How can I help?
Where is the patient who was hurt by her husband?
Officers, this is some kind of mistake. I would be the first to call you if someone had suffered from violence.
We got a call from your nurse, Erica Johnson.
Then everything is clear. I fired her, and she decided to take revenge to undermine my reputation. The doctor took Erica to the police. She tried to tell the truth, but no one listened to her.
One more false call, and we'll arrest you, ma'am.
Erica had no choice but to pack her things and leave the hospital. But before leaving, she met the injured patient.
Take it. This toy will save you and your baby. A teddy bear? I don't understand.
A couple of hours later, the angry husband came to his wife.
Dr. Johnson told me everything. You'll regret what you did.
Honey, please don't.
Shut up. It won't help you.
But the man didn't have enough time to hurt his wife more. The police burst into Erica's ward, and his husband was immediately arrested.
But how did you get them to believe you? There's a nanny camera inside this bear. I could see what was happening on my phone.
The patient couldn't hold back her tears of happiness. Thanks to one brave nurse, the monster went to jail, along with the doctor who covered him. You can't rid the world of cruelty, but you can always save one person from it.